Hello, my friends. Jules here, and I'm so grateful you are here with me right now. Welcome to the Jules Loves Me podcast show. I have some big news, y'all. Let me just tell you real quick, in case you don't follow me on social media. But if you want to, by the way, it's at julesloves.me. So back to my big news. Julian, my 7-year-old son, and I have written a kid's book all about what to do with big feelings. I know. It's happening. We're so excited. We've got this GoFundMe put together so we can raise money for publishing and illustration costs. So please make sure to check it out. We are under the name You Are the Sky, which is our book title. So I'll have a link in our show notes as well as on social media. Or you can just go to GoFundMe directly and just type in You Are the Sky and you'll find us. So the fun part about today's episode is that I was recording an upcoming episode with Reverend Christy Snow, and she asked me to deliver the message for the talk at her church, which is called Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. So, CCSA folks are my beloved people. I love them so much. They are fantastic and they're just always so welcoming. So I immediately said yes, and then realized that the timing was going to align perfectly with our GoFundMe. So my talk is entitled You Are the Sky. And what you're going to listen to today is the audio from that talk. So yay. And the other side of it is there's a video, there's a whole service, including a guided prayer, which is kind of like a meditation, and a kids program that I do for CCSA. So make sure to check them out on Facebook under Awakening Carolina. Also, we'll have a link to their page in our show notes so you can watch the video and see everything that we've put together for these kids and for all the grown-ups too. In this talk, I'm definitely covering not only the story of how You Are the Sky came to be, but also the idea of being open and clear and bright in your heart. So enjoy this talk, and please check out our GoFundMe. I appreciate you, and I'm so grateful you're here. Let's get into it. Hey there, Jules here, and welcome to Jules Loves Me, the podcast. My life is a surrender experiment where I choose faith over fear to follow my intuition. And it has all led me here to share wholehearted stories about what I've learned along the way. So take a nice deep breath, settle in, and remember, the light in me loves the light in you. Now let the elevation of your soul's experience begin. Hello, beautiful people. I am so grateful to be with you, even if it is in the digital realm, because we know that everywhere we are, God is. So that means we are all connected. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be connected to you right now. And so I was thinking about this idea of the rhythm of creation, about going with the flow. And when I was thinking about it, this story popped up of how the flow showed up and completely made me go with it. And let me just say that the flow showed up in the form of my 7-year-old son, Julian. Now, Julian and I had been working with this idea that we are not our feelings. And we have been practicing that for a while. And what I mean by practicing is knowing ways to calm ourselves down in really tough moments. I told Julian to think of himself as the sky, big, beautiful, clear sky. And his feelings, all of them, the happy ones, the grumpy ones, all of them were clouds. And no matter what, the clouds keep moving, and the sky always remains the sky. So the story started to develop about the sky and the clouds, and we would talk about the characters and how he wanted to turn them into toys to go along with the story. And we knew one day it would be time to write it down. But it was important to us, so we didn't want to rush it. So I thought. One morning after Julian's 7th birthday, he knocked on my bedroom door super early and said, "Mama, it's time. It's time to write our story." And with my eyes barely open, I said, "Good morning. Hey, bud, it's time?" And he replied confidently and said, "Yes, Mama, it's time." I knew I had to think quick and figure out how to wake up and go with this flow, go with the moment. I needed coffee and I needed prayer. So I said, "Why don't you make the toys for the story and then come back?" And he happily agreed and ran off. Woo! It worked. The coffee started brewing and my prayers started rolling, y'all. About that time, I was handing over my day to the Holy Spirit, and Julian was back. I mean, seriously, he's like the fastest toy maker ever. He could be an elf at the North Pole if he wanted to be, I'm just saying. So I got up and we ran to the sunroom and started writing. You know, I recently learned that on average, it takes 1 year to write a kid's book. A whole year. It took us an hour. 1 hour. Now, a year has 8,760 hours in it, but we only needed 1. Y'all, that's the power of going with the flow and co-creating in divine time. Julian heard the whisper, the urge of universal inspiration, and he came running to get me. Thankfully, I made the choice to follow that flow in the supercharged moment that we were given. After we finished, we called friends and family on FaceTime, and we read our story. The reactions were incredible. We did it. We co-created our first book. I mean, what a feeling. To write a book with your kid, no words. Now, what I didn't know at that time was how many others were going to need our book. I started to research after realizing that the story was resonating with both kids and grown-ups. I started seeing that the simple message of letting feelings pass was teaching others what to do with all these big feelings that we've all been feeling. It's amazing how one moment, early in the morning, one choice to wake up and go with the flow has carried us into this new, exciting phase of serving others who need it most. And a part of Julian's homeschool curriculum is a program called Kidpreneur, which teaches kids about entrepreneurship and financial literacy. And it was time for Julian to brainstorm his business plan. And he decided he wanted to help others by writing positive stories and making toys to accompany them. I mean, come on. I immediately knew it was time to share our book with more than our inner circle. And y'all, I have big news to share. We've launched a GoFundMe to self-publish our book, You Are the Sky. The story not only aligns with my own deep desire to help kids, It aligns with Julian's dreams and aligns with our family's vision of having a positive impact in our world. And we open ourselves up to God's will. I mean, talk about breathing in the rhythm of the universe, creation and harmony, making poetry, and apparently kids' books too. In our story, the main character, Sky, wants to hold Grumpy Cloud in hopes of helping. But Sky becomes upset holding on to Grumpy. Thankfully, Sky is reminded that we have to let the feelings and clouds pass in order to feel better. I gotta tell y'all, by putting myself out there with this GoFundMe campaign, I've surely noticed scared cloud floating around way more often. But I do my best to remind myself to let it pass and keep moving forward. And that's what I'm talking about. In giving over the tough stuff that we feel, that, by the way, is only natural to feel, we make room to receive what we need, whether it's comfort, peace, maybe even a rainbow. So how about you? With this idea in mind, let's take a moment to check in. So let's enter into this space by taking a deep breath and just asking yourself, what am I holding on to? What's blocking you from feeling bright and clear right now? It's okay, you don't have to pretend there's nothing there. Because once we have a name for the feeling, we can tame it and flip the script with the truth. So in this sacred space, let's find the truth. You know what's blocking you. We have a name for it. We know what we're feeling. Now, what's the truth that you know to be true? What I know to be true is that you are the sky, and the clouds are always passing. There's no need to hold on to them. So this moment, right here, choose to release anything that is weighing you down. Anything that's blocking our awareness to the presence of love, let it go. Let's take the feelings. Let's take all of it. Just gather it all up. And let's give it over. Hand it over as an offering. Let's leave all of these blocks and big feelings at the altar in our heart space, and let's lighten our load. By giving this over, we open up ourselves to receive what we really need and want in this moment. to take a nice deep breath and receive all the blessings that this moment has for you right now. And as you exhale, just release anything that's blocking it. Just keep repeating this breath with the idea in mind that every time you inhale, you're receiving all the gifts. And as you exhale, you release everything else. Each breath is opening your heart as big as the sky. Let's affirm together. I am the sky. I am a child of God. I am the beloved. I am safe. I am whole. I am loved. I am, and all is well. How's that feel? Let's shake that out. Woof! It's good, right? We did some good work together. Thank you for being with me today. Such an honor. And if you're interested in learning more about our mission and our book, you can find our GoFundMe under You Are the Sky. And after the service, Julian will be joining us for a special reading of our book, so please stay tuned. And I'll be sharing helpful thoughts on big feelings. So you may need to share this broadcast right now so all the kids in your life can participate with us. It's been such an honor to share this space with you. The light in me sees and loves the light in you. Till next time. You've been listening to Jules Loves Me, the podcast. If you feel uplifted and inspired and seen, I invite you to join us in the Miracle Lab, where we expand these conversations into spiritual teachings. Do you need a mentor or an accountability partner? Come to the lab and let's support each other while we experiment with miracles and grow together. Visit www.themiraclelab.org. Special thanks to my co-host Josh, who's also on production and sound design. And a big thank you to you for listening. Send me a text and let me know it landed. 229-206-9280. I'm your host, Jules, and remember, the light in me loves the light in you. I'll see you in the lab.